Alright fellas, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be reacting to the official Dynasty deep dive, and also we do have the notes for the deep dive. We'll be going through this. I'll try and skim through this as much as I can, but we'll be raw reacting to this. I'm gonna try not to pause as much, but if I see something I like, I will pause. So let's get into it, boys. Appreciate y'all for hopping in today with the video. This is my second video, so if y'all would not mind liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment in the comment section below, that'd be greatly appreciated. Let's get to it.
Hey everybody, it's Kirk Herbstreit. Improvements to Dynasty and EA Sports College Football 26 are focused around adding authenticity to every Dynasty run, while also delivering on community feedback.
Alright, so first thing I'm noticing, I mean, I know they added coaches in the game. I'm a Georgia fan, but this does not look like Kirby. Like, I mean, it kind of does, but it kind of doesn't. Okay. And then yesterday in the presentation deep dive, they did announce they were going to be working on better player models, but this does not look like 78, and this does not look like Gunnar Stockton IRL. So, I mean, let's get back to it, but I don't understand that.
For the first time ever, you can start your Dynasty by stepping into the role of one of over 300
Okay, so here's the team selection screen. Basically the same as last year. New font. I like the font. Don't know if I can see it, but it's up here in this top right as well. I like the font. Basically the same screen. Not noticing any new teams over here yet. Or actually I am up here. So this is an FCS school. That's I want to say Missouri State. I want to say Missouri State is what that is.
Authentic college football coaches to ensure each coach and coordinator's authentic.
Okay, so LSU does not have Brian Kelly in the game. So Brian Kelly is one of the coaches that aren't in the game, as we can see right here.
Styles are highlighted. We completely rebalanced archetypes and abilities and enhanced playbooks with over 2,800 new plays. So when you battle a CEO like Kirby Smart one week and a program builder like Lane Kiffin the next, you truly feel the difference on the football field. This new depth also offers more options when creating your own coach, giving you more control over the path you ultimately.
Alright, see, this is a big problem I had last year, bro. We only had 2 options for the coach wear. I'm hyped that we got more this year. I know it's not the biggest problem of all time, but it irked me a lot, and I did not like it, so I'm hyped for this. I hope the face customization is also better, but as of right now, this gets an A+. I'm liking this.
Take. A new progression curve offers early career momentum with more sustained growth across a new level cap up to 100. Of course, no coach excels in.
Okay, so early on the coaches will grow. See, I like that. I like that early on the coaches will grow easier, and then as time goes by, it'll get harder. Because last year it was like the same damn thing for every upgrade, and like the start was so hard, but now the start should be easy, and later on it should get harder. So I like that a lot. This screen looks a little different. Like, I mean, the fonts are changed. I feel like everything, like, now your coach is positioned on the right side. I don't know if I like that or not because he's already up here. But this is sick. I mean, it looks about the same. New font. It's chill. Not as much space over here. Kind of minimalized it.
Did everything. So hire coordinators who complement your strengths or shore up your weaknesses. And make sure to leverage your staff's active archetype perk to really accelerate your progression. Updates to how coaching archetypes are unlocked, balanced, and expanded make each coaching path even more strategic and distinct. All 3 base archetypes now require a minimum coach level to unlock, promoting.
Oh, okay. So you don't get these right away. I think that's what this is saying.
Make each coaching path even more strategic and distinct. All 3 base archetypes now require a minimum coach level to unlock.
Okay, so yeah, you gotta be coach level 10 to unlock the big 3 archetypes. Okay, so I like that. I like that. So you're not gonna be good off the bat. It's gonna slow down, kind of like as last year you were seeing, being able to see Kennesaw State get 5 stars in year 1. It's not gonna happen anymore. Not gonna happen anymore. It's gonna get tougher to recruit. You're gonna have to be able to allocate your hours decisively. So I like that. And then for tactician and motivator, I mean, it's not as big hitting level 10 for those. I mean, kinda, but recruiter is gonna be the biggest one because you're like it's gonna take longer to put work into your program recruiting wise. So I do like this change. I feel like it adds more realism to the game, so I like that a lot.
Promoting focused early investment and making your initial archetype choice more meaningful. New scaling archetype costs encourage more intentional choices as you progress. Now, advancing within your specialty, like moving from recruiter to elite recruiter, is more affordable than a path that requires learning a new skill set.
Okay, I like that. I do like that. So now if you're trying to just become elite recruiter and nothing else, like you just want to be the recruiting guy, it's not going to cost as much to advance into elite recruiter if you already have stuff worked on it. So I like that a lot.
Preserve your Dynasty legacy with the all-new Trophy Room. Showcase every trophy, title, and individual award won throughout your coaching journey, and look ahead at what coveted hardware you still need to strive for. The new college football history feature serves as a college football history book and lets you compare your program to the all-time greats, adding a new dimension of legacy building to Dynasty. We've revamped the transfer portal to create more.
Ooh, okay. See, I like this screen a lot. I like how we have the offensive targets up here, defensive targets down here. I like that you don't have to. Last year, you'd have to click like fucking triangle, go in, check it, lose where you're at on your board, and then have to go back and find the player. I like this. This is more user-friendly, I feel like.
More realistic player movement, especially among the 4- and 5-star players. Now, from 2,000 up to 3,500 athletes can enter the portal each season, giving you fresh ways to build your roster year after year. New dynamic deal breakers are player expectations that evolve with their talent. That 3-star freshman who is happy with average facilities? If he's an All-American by junior year, he might be looking for top-tier amenities. And whether it's listed as a deal breaker or not, your most talented players may.
Okay, so I actually like that because that makes it like. Because now it's going to be like hypothetically, let's say I'm running Kennesaw State. You recruit a 3-star there with elite development trait, right? And he wants good facilities, little pro potential, but then his deal breaker becomes pro potential, and y'all don't offer the best. So he's going to do like any guy would IRL who wants to go to the league. He's going to transfer out of Kennesaw State and go to some bigger school that can offer him better pro potential to grow. So, see, this is adding more realism to the game. I like the steps that they're making. This is very big. I like it.
They still demand playing time. Some coach abilities can impact dynamic deal breakers, providing strategic recruiting advantages. New dynamic dev traits have a bigger impact on player growth, along with more abilities across 59 total player archetypes for better variety among athletes.
All right, so I know we saw in the gameplay deep dive, I didn't upload a video on it, but they did announce the new player archetype, so I'm not going to dive too big into that, but I do like it this year. And also in the presentation deep dive, they were going to announce that there will be different body types for the smaller guys, so the quarterbacks aren't going to look like they're fucking 250 plus anymore, thank God.
And skill group levels increase from 10 to 20, so progression feels more gradual and realistic.
Alright, so this is way better too. So there's more skill caps. As you can see, last year was only like 6 or 7. No pun intended, but I think they said there's 20 now, he said. So it's going to be a lot tougher to grow. I mean, these are going to cost less, right? But you're not going to see as big of overall jumps as you would if they're not like elite, if they're elite potential, I could see them jumping big, which I still hope they keep that. But if it's like an impact guy and his max is gonna be like, let's say like 88, 89 overall, yeah, I like the slower progression because let's say he's a 5-star with impact development, he's supposed to be like an 89. You don't want him jumping up to an 86 in year 2 and hardly growing junior and senior year. You want him working up. So I like this.
Recruiting visits now involve location-based costs. So the further a prospect lives from your campus, the more recruiting hours a visit costs.
Okay, see, I also like that. I like that a lot. That adds way more realism to the game. Hey, you gotta sit here and fucking fly out a guy, and it's gonna take more hours off your time. So I like that. That's chill.
This simulates an authentic recruiting challenge faced by smaller programs who must focus locally, while powerhouses can recruit nationally. New recruiting battles create high-stakes showdowns when multiple schools are neck and neck for a coveted recruit. And
Okay, so I think that's a new thing. Recruiting battle, like, towards the end. Can I go back to that screen? Like, I get that there was a thing like this last year, but it was between the top 3. Now it's between, I think, the top 2 if you're in a recruiting battle. So I like that. I want to see how that's going to work in-game. I don't know if they're going to keep, like, the same recruiting style and you just got to try and beat out the team. Or if it's going to be, like, an actual, like, mini-game. It would be sick if it was a mini-game, but I think it's just going to be, like, based on the hours that you're in for the dude. So, I mean, I still like this. I like this screen letting them know that you're in a recruiting battle. It's just, like, the minimalistic stuff I like that they're adding. Like, the game already had a good foundation last year for the first game back in, 10 years? 11 years? And now they're just building upon that, adding the minimalistic shit that the people want, and they're listening. Unlike Madden. Like, I love Madden to death, but they'll never have a good franchise mode just because they don't listen to anybody, bro. Like, see, this is putting useful shit to work with the team right here. Recruiting battles, adding different coach apparel, adding coaches to the game, adding new equipment, making player types leaner. Like, it's just like the minimalistic shit that the people want, they're adding.
Neck and neck for a coveted recruit. And team needs are now front and center on your prospect list, so you always know exactly where to focus your efforts. When it comes to wear and tear, every player now has a seasonal health pool that depletes as they recover. And once it's empty, they can't bounce back until the offseason.
What does that say?
Coveted recruit, and team needs are now front and center on your prospect list, so you always know exactly where to focus your efforts. When it comes to wear and tear, every player now has a seasonal health pool that depletes as they recover. And
say I don't know how I feel about that. Dude. I really don't know how to feel about that. Because, look, career health is already at fucking halfway. Like, bro, that's absurd. I get he's a 90 and he's probably a senior here, but damn, dude. And basically you're telling me, let's say he sustains 3 injuries through week 5 because the wear and tear is bugged in this game. So let's say, like, not saying it's bugged, but let's say hypothetically it's bugged. And he sustains 3 injuries through week 5 and his shit's already there. He's not going to be able to regain health. I'm going to have to wait till the game starts to see if I like this feature. I don't like it on paper, but let's see if they do it justice. Let's move on.
And once it's empty, they can't bounce back until the offseason. New auto subs incorporate different wear and tear strategies, allowing you to customize substitute.
Okay, yeah, I already seen this. I feel like this is definitely adding more realism to the game. The wear and tear subs. I'll definitely play around with this in my Dynasty that I'm going to be doing on the channel. So make sure y'all tune into that. I'm going to be dropping a video day 1 or day 2 of the game, doing my Dynasty team selection and everything. But let's move on.
Thresholds and better manage your team's long-term usage. Within custom conferences, the new protected opponents option ensures certain annual matchups, regardless of...
All right, I like this. So let's say, because last year I did a couple team builders by myself, and let's say hypothetically you want to have like a rivalry that you want to build in the conference or just non-conference. Now you can select the rivalry that you want to have like every year, and no matter what, the CPU will automatically put that on your schedule instead of you having to go in, clear out weeks for you and them to put them on the schedule. This is like, see, it's just this minimalistic shit that makes me hype.
Divisional changes. Preserve key rivalries like Michigan versus Ohio State every year with this feature. Up to 2 protected opponents per team. New formation subs provide flexibility to assign players to specific alignments, adding ways to strategically exploit opponent team
I feel like this
weaknesses.
should already been in the
Take
game.
advantage of new position archetypes with up to 50 subs per team, with packages that persist season to season.
But to be fair, if it's like
With
let's say, like, you
crossplay
want a wide
in
receiver
Dynasty,
there, that
build
would be
your
sick.
college football empire with friends on any platform. Use the Enhanced Player Hub and new Members tab to effortlessly manage your Dynasty and stay connected. Pre-order the MVP bundle. Includes both EA Sports College Football 26 and Madden NFL 26 for Xbox Series XS and PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I like the stuff that they added. Like I said, it's mainly the minimalistic stuff that I'm here for, because they built a good foundation on the game. They just got to grow upon that. And that's adding this minimalistic shit. Keep the fans happy. Make gameplay updates as the game goes on. Gameplay already looked solid last year. Hopefully it's better this year. I've seen a lot of people that have gotten a chance to play the game early. They have said that it is good. So we'll keep moving on from there. And let's hop into this. Like I said, building on the foundation. That's what I'm saying that they're doing, and I like that. When we set out to design College Football 25 with a multi-year vision for what we wanted Dynasty Mode to become, that journey began by laying the foundation under 3 core pillars: build your coach, build your program, and deliver the world of college football. So, yeah, build the coach. They already said that they're going to add more shit and make it like easier to progress early on. So I like that. Build your program. I feel like we've already been through all this. I feel like most of this was stuff from last two. College Football 26 represents year 2 of that vision, a year focused on building on the foundation we set and adding meaningful depth to each pillar. It's about evolving Dynasty while staying true to what makes it special and delivering on the feedback we've heard from our incredibly passionate community. See, that's the stuff I like to hear. Just like last year, we spent countless hours talking with community members, college football experts, and coaches. We also spent a ton of time watching Dynasty live stream, program rebuilds, wish list videos, and of course, reading thousands of message board posts and tweets. A large part of our research was focused not just on what is discussed, but how the mode is actually played and experienced by our community. Because we said last year, and still strongly believe today, our team has one singular motto: satisfy the core community, because this is their game. See, that is the stuff that I like to hear. Now, they just need to act on it. And as of right now, after watching that video, they are acting on it. And I like that. Build your coach. We've already seen this. Create your coach. I feel like we've already been over this. If you didn't play the game last year, you already know. If you choose to build your own coach, we add new ways to customize your appearance. We've seen that, as you can see. Alright, did not get to see this screen in the video, but basically kind of the same shit as last year. Stance, they added new stuff like the stance, demeanor, everything else the same. And adaptive AI, I think they added new stuff to it. So here's the coach progression stuff they were talking about. From the beginning, our design into our archetype-based abilities and progression system has been that no coach can be great at everything. How you build your coach and manage your staff matters. Your coordinators either complement your strengths to shore up your deficiencies. This intent still holds true in College Football 26. We've continued to expand upon it. Last year, saw players hitting their level cap too early, maxing out progression well before the later years of their dynasty. So, which was not intended. While we still believe you cannot be great at everything, your coaching journey should evolve over time with new decisions and challenges emerging each season. See, I like that. So now they're making it tougher to level up. And whoa, that's a big jump. 50 to 100. I like that. I like that a lot. They're adding more levels. You're going to roll out more time. And that is big. That is very big. Also, so the trophy room, I wanted to add upon. I know they added every new trophy into the game. Include not just the Heisman. I'm pretty sure they added all of the passing trophies and shit into the game. I know the Orange Bowl's in here now. All the bowl games are already in here, but I know they added coach trophies and shit that I've seen. Down here you can see these. I know they added the real names to those, so I'm excited for that. That just adds a lot more realism to it. Transfer portal, I feel like most of this stuff is going to be the same. It's kind of just like you got to learn from it. But, like, see, this makes more sense. Like, there added more realism to it. For example, an 85 overall freshman quarterback will be scored higher than an 85 overall senior guard, which, as it should. And then deal breakers, they talked about that in the video. I'm mainly just looking through this for stuff that I didn't see in the video. Deal breakers, they said they were going to change over time. Because, like, let's say you start out, I already explained it earlier in the video, but let's say you start out, like, with a high grade for something, you don't have it later on, which is what they're looking for. So they're going to be more adaptive to that. Like, if you have bad pro potential and this dude wants to go pro, he's going to transfer to a school that he can go pro for, if he's good. And that's good. Okay, so new stuff for program builder archetype, gift of gab, additional persuasion attempts. That's fat. For to almost bring players back. Roster retainer, increased chance of persuading a player to stay. And then full refund, get an additional persuasion attempt if one of your attempts is successful. And then transfer portal customization. With dynamic deal breakers, the addition of the conference prestige deal breaker improved playing time logic. College Football 26 transfer portal is more reactive and unpredictable. While this brings chaos in modern college football to life, we also want you to have the tools to customize that experience and make it your own. Whether you want a wild, modern era portal or a throwback to the days when transferring was far less common, you now have full control over how the portal behaves in your dynasty. New settings include max transfers per team, so you're only allowed if you only want a certain number of transfers per team. 0 to 30, so 30 is the max, 0 is the minimum. I feel like 20 is a good number there. Transfer probability, user teams. Scale how likely players on user-controlled teams are to transfer if their deal breaker is violated. I feel like that should be pretty high. I feel like these settings should both be on 100 if that's what it's supposed to be set on. Because, like, dude, if he's not meeting that deal breaker, that player's going to transfer, more than likely, IRL and in the game. But if it gets to the point where it's, like, stupid in the game, yeah, turn it down. But if it's, like, it's working at 100, keep it. It's just like stuff you got to get your hands on the game to toy around with. And then pro potential, all the my school stuff, all this stuff was already here. I feel like I think they added conference prestige. That was a new thing, or what it was saying about up there. So 14 grades. Yeah, I feel like we've already been over that. Location based recruiting. So yeah. It's easier and cheaper to get a player to campus when they live nearby. Driving 100 miles is a very different challenge than flying across the country. We replicated that reality through location-based recruiting. The cost of a visit is now tied directly to how close a recruit is to your campus. See, I like that. Making geography a meaningful factor in your weekly recruiting strategy. So you're going to want to recruit pipeline states more than ever now. The higher a recruit's proximity to home with your school, the cheaper it will be to bring them in for a visit. Costs can range from as low as 10 recruiting hours for nearby players to as high as 40 hours for cross-country visits. That's a significant swing, and one that forces you to think more strategically about where your targets are located and what your program can realistically afford week to week. So this dude's from Texas. The visit's not going to be 50 like it was last year for everything. Now, if they're closer, it's going to be less. And now, let's say you're at Texas, you're recruiting from California, it's about 1,500 miles away, something like that. It's going to cost 40, like visits did last year. Every visit cost, in last year's game, cost 40 flat hours. Just made it tougher. So now you're going to be able to spend your hours better, trying to get shit around you done quicker, and then worry about those longer visits later in the season. Or worry on the longer visits early in the season, and then worry about the quicker stuff like at the same time because it's gonna be cheaper, or you worry about that later when it is cheaper and you got more points or hours to allocate. All right, here's another thing I wanted to touch on because I thought it looked cool in the video: recruiting battles. College Football 25, there were moments when two schools were locked in a close recruiting race, and it wasn't always clear why one team ultimately won out. When both programs were neck and neck, it could feel a little random which school ended the commitment. Now when one school reaches the commitment threshold and another is right behind them, a recruiting battle will be triggered. The recruit won't commit right away, and instead they will set a new higher commitment threshold, giving both schools a short window to make one final push. It's not a long extension, just enough to create space for a true head-to-head finish. See, I like that. From that point on, it becomes a race. Whichever school reaches the new commitment threshold first secures the commitment. This is when you pull out all the stops. It's a dead sprint to the finish line. Do everything you can to push across the threshold before your rival does. Because once that new threshold is hit, that recruit is off the board. I like that. I like that a lot. Recruit generation this year, we've increased the number of recruits generated each season to 4,100, providing a deeper and more talented or more varied pool of talent for programs at every level. As part of this expansion, we've also rebalanced several key aspects of recruit generation, including physical and mental abilities, as well as each prospect's individual ratings. So to be able to find players with high-level attributes and silver or gold tier abilities, the kind of elite prospects that can transform a program, but there will be fewer of them overall. In particular, when it comes to athletes, we've reduced both the quality of top-end athlete prospects and the quantity generated across each position. That means it's going to be rare to find truly elite prospects, but when you do it, it'll feel special, and landing them will be a major win for your recruiting class. We've also reworked how pitches and deal breakers are assigned to better reflect the wants and needs of players today. Glamour positions like quarterback, running back, wide receiver, corner, and edge rusher now put a much heavier emphasis on brand exposure to better reflect their expectations around NIL opportunities. Okay, so the big boy positions are going to focus more on NIL because they're going to be the star of the program. On, like, let's say, so an offensive lineman's not going to care about NIL too much or brand exposure, but quarterback, running back, receiver, corner, and edge rusher, the big guys of the program, are all going to be emphasized on brand exposure. I like that. That adds way more realism to the game once again. Additionally, we rebalanced the motivations and assignment of deal breakers across pitches to create more overlap. The goal is to make it harder to immediately pinpoint a recruit's ideal pitch based solely on their deal breaker, requiring you to dig deeper to uncover what truly matters to each player. We've also reduced the weights that most high school prospects will start at to better reflect players entering college with a less mature body. This allows weight to scale more naturally over time. I like that. Adds more realism as they grow into their body and physically mature. More on that later. We've also introduced a brand new lean body type. I was talking about that in the shit earlier. So it's going to be like QBs, cornerbacks, wide receivers, and stuff. Okay, so getting into recruiting quality of life, we know how important it is to have the right tools in place to manage your board, prioritize your targets, and respond to key moments as they happen. In College Football 26, we've made a number of quality of life improvements across the entire recruiting experience, helping you spend less time digging through menus. Like I said, they added this like team needs thing up top, so now you don't gotta quit. Like, yeah, here they go. We brought team needs front and center by pinning it to the top of the prospect list. Don't have to go in and quick. Module updates in real time as you add or remove players, helping you make informed decisions in the moment. This module is meant to provide a quick summary of your immediate roster needs, while the full team needs screen, which includes a year-by-year breakdown and your overall grade, is still accessible by pressing R3 in the guide. But see, I like your team needs as of now being up top to know what you need. And then if you want to go and check your team needs for the future, like if you're thinking about recruiting years into the future, you got to click R3. I like that. Okay, here's another thing that I like. In the recruiting board, you'll see up and down arrows that appear on the left-hand list, like this right here, to show if you've jumped up on their recruiting board or if you've moved down, like this Hearns dude right here. So I like that effect. That adds a lot. Like, it's just quality of life. You don't got to go in, click on the player to see if you moved up or down. So that's way better improvement. Okay, now this is a big change that I like. From impact player to star. Player performance during the season now plays a huge role in their long-term potential. If a player absolutely cooks during the season, they can now upgrade their development trait during the off-season progression. I like that because last year it was standstill. You couldn't upgrade at all. Performance is determined by their season stat line relative to their position. Upgrading a development trait is not guaranteed, and the better a player's current trait is, the harder it becomes to move up. For example, moving from normal to impact is more likely than jumping from star to elite. I like that a lot. So now if you're playing, like, let's say you recruit a 3-star who doesn't have the greatest traits, but he's a big speed guy, and you give him the ball a lot, and he gets like 1,200 yards at a small program, his trait's going to go up, and he's going to be able to become better and better and better as you play better with him. And now it's not like you're just stuck in a standstill and you can't upgrade him at all. This is a big change that I'm going to love this year. Okay, so this is a new thing too, manual progression. To manually progress a player, just access their player card. Within the player card, you can spend their skill points to purchase ratings and abilities. So now you can use their skill points to upgrade what you want to do instead of having the computer do the progression in the off season. Manual progression can offer a significant advantage in shaping a player growth, so when it's turned on, it becomes It comes with a default 25% progression nerf to help maintain balance. See, so I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. So let's say if you're upgrading the dude, you're gonna lose points, or you're not. Yeah, I think it's gonna be more points used towards this shit instead of like the CPU progressing. But that also like you're also taking time to upgrade what you want to do instead of letting the computer do it. So I like that. I feel like that's big. This might become, unless you can turn it off. Oh, it can be turned off. Turned off completely or increased to 100%. So see, I feel like that's gonna be better, like for just like CPU or player versus CPU dynasties, like what I'm gonna do on the channel. The 100% is gonna be way better to upgrade the player. All right, here we are again with the managing wear and tear. Much like a boxer, a football player's body can only take so much hits before it starts to break down. It's not just about whether a player is injured, it's about how their body responds to the physical demands of the season. Every hit adds up, and as our friend OG says, not all hits are created equal. Some players are able to endure the wear and tear over the long term, while others wear down under the weight of repeated impacts. Season and career health. In College Football 26, every player now has season and career health, which I made a comment about that earlier in the video. Don't know how I'm going to like it. It doesn't look good on paper, but we can see how it works over time. Career health pools that determine how much wear and tear damage they can recover in a single season over the course of their career. Each time a player recovers wear and tear damage, it draws from these pools. Once the season health pool is depleted, that player can no longer recover wear and tear damage until the offseason when they fully recover. We saw the effects of season health play out in last year's national championship game. Entering the matchup, Notre Dame's quarterback had logged a career high 167 rushing attempts on the season, 53 of those coming in just the last 3 games. On the opening drive, he led an 18-play, 75-yard touchdown, carrying the ball more than 9 times. That drive alone added a significant amount of wear and tear when combined with the workload he'd taken all season. It was clear his body had started to break down from that point forward. His performance dipped noticeably, and he wasn't the same player for the rest of the game. See, that is true. That is true. So I like that they're trying to add more realism to the game. But I hope that this works like that, like they just described, and not bugged. Like, none of this shit right here, none of the season and career health should be like none of your players should be cooked for the rest of the season until you're like in week 10 plus. How does season health change from season to season? At the end of the season, the pool replenishes. However, the size of the pool is determined by how full it was at the end of the season. For example, a player who finishes the season with their health pool nearly empty will begin the next year with a significantly smaller season health pool. This reflects the physical wear they carried over the course of the season. Conversely, a player who finished the year with a pool that is almost full will begin the next year with an almost identical health pool. You'll be able to see the impacts of players' health on the career health bar by the course of the season. In effect, you are now having to manage a player's career clock. How heavily a player is used from year to year will significantly impact their longevity, adding a new layer of decision making and wear and tear management week to week and season to season. Where can I say you can view players' season health anywhere that wear and tear is displayed? This year, we have also updated the player module to include a wear and tear sub-panel that can be accessed with the RS right stick. This allows you to quickly view a player's wear and tear health at a glance. Okay. So, I mean, you're going to have to manage a lot of stuff when it comes to wear and tear. Like I said, it's just weird reading this stuff on paper. This is one of the things that you're going to have to, like, get your hands on the game to understand and make sure EA doesn't fuck it up. So, we're just going to have to see how that goes. I feel like EA's done a very good job with college football, but this is an easy thing. Like, this is a tough thing to help. Like, I like that they're trying to add realism, but this is a tough thing that's going to, like, be able to stay unbugged. So, hopefully it's not bugged, but I just have a feeling it's going to be bugged, and I'm going to hate it for a while until they fix it. But hopefully it's not bugged day one. Answer my prayers, EA. Do a good job. Okay, here's another thing. I'm not going to read over all this because it's pretty self-explanatory. College football history, they added all of the national champions from, like, the past 100 years, the conference championship winners and all this shit, Heisman Trophy winners, well, the ones that are allowed to be in the game. Or, no, this is just from the Big Ten, but Heisman Trophy winners, all of them are in the game. Player career stats, you're able to check their awards, like John Mateer here. You're able to check all of his awards. So, I like this. I think this is very nice. Adds way more realism to the game. Like, let's say we're doing a finale episode for a Dynasty. We can go back and look over all of the college football history and what happened in my program as well as just around the league. So I like that. That's a very cool thing. All right, I do want to touch base on the college football playoff real quick. I'm not going to read into all this because it's going to be the same as last year, but hopefully the logic in it is way better. Like, this seems better logic-wise. You got Oregon 1, Oklahoma 2, after going 14-2. I feel like that's chill. But Notre Dame 12-1. I mean, they had less wins, but they're 3. 4 Penn State 14-2. Well, this is also because they made it far into the season. But if Oklahoma has 2 losses and they're not good losses, there's not a reason they should be number 2. Like, hopefully, what I'm seeing right here, the logic is fine. Like, I feel like the teams that got the 12 seed, like Memphis, that's a fair Power 5 seed. They're the 18th team in the country, probably the highest rated Group of 5 conference team. And then Arizona State 13. Like, most of this seems good ranking wise, but we'll have to see how it works later, like when I get my hands on the game. All right, boys, I appreciate y'all for hopping in today's video, checking out the deep dive and the notes with me. I will catch y'all in the next one. I would appreciate if y'all like and subscribe. I want to take this shit to the moon with each and every single one of y'all, so I appreciate y'all for hopping in and viewing the video. Hope y'all like, subscribe, comment. Make sure my video will get out there for people to see. And I'm excited to see what's for the future. I got a bunch of college football stuff planned, and I hope y'all are ready. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.